It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. Episode 200 of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast on Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. Monday Night Raw results, Tuesday night NXT preview, looking ahead at Wednesday Night Dynamite, and even talking about Friday Night SmackDown and next Monday Night Raw. All right here on Sleeper Sports Media with your host, me, Nick Wietosh, and I cannot believe this is episode 200. We'll put an asterisk and say roughly episode 200 because there definitely has been some times where I've I've lost track of an episode under this umbrella or that umbrella, and then branching out to different shows here and there and everything like that. So we'll say very touch and go episode 200, and hopefully I am able to get this done in 22 minutes until I get to work. So I don't know what is going to come of this, and hopefully my service doesn't crap out on me from good old you know who and who I have for phone coverage. But this is episode roughly 200 of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast, and we're going to jump into a whole bunch of things here. Starting off with, of course, thanking No Dirt Sheets for Surfshark VPN. That is how I can watch NXT tonight and how you can watch NXT tonight as well on Netflix with Surfshark VPN. Just the only thing is you need to get an Apple TV and plug that into use that device instead of if you use a Roku or just a regular smart TV. You will have to make adjustments and get that Apple TV device to then set all that up under one place. But if you do that, then you can also get myaew.com and of course then watch everything AEW wise also with the VPN and not have to pay the $40 per month for the review and through HBO Max. So just a way to save a little bit of money, but also support the channel here and over at No Dirt Sheets. So Surfshark VPN, shout out to No Dirt Sheets and everyone over there. Fantastic people over there. Love what they do, and they're absolutely killing it every single day. With all that out the way, of course, also presented by Canva, the best dang photo editing, thumbnail making, video making software app out there. There is no doubt about it. I try to be sign up for the ambassador program, waiting to hear back, and I will not stop until I get to be partnered with Canva because I love them so much. I use the 5 service is absolutely trash where I'm going, so that's why I stopped doing the episodes in the morning whenever I was going to the branch that I'm at today. But nonetheless, we will do our best to get this out. Hopefully, the audio is okay, and hopefully the service where I'm at on lunch is good because I will be trying to go live again on lunch. I might just do just regular YouTube because there seems to be no discoverability on Rumble, which is absolutely insane to me. We got 3 people watching, which I think are just the bots. Yeah, I think I might just switch back to YouTube and then just upload the VODs to Rumble, just to have everything out that way. Um, yeah, this is crazy and just so more complicated than it needs to be. But nonetheless, we had Monday Night Raw last night live from Boston. The crowd was pretty dry until the end. They did give a big pop for Danhausen, which was really cool to see. IShow Speed was there for some reason. I don't know his connection with Boston. Um, I don't know what they're going to use him for going forward on the road to WrestleMania. That's what Pierce kept mentioning to him. but Danhausen got a big pop. That was in the middle of the show when I Show Speed was there, and then they put out on WWE social media that Danhausen beat Speed in a race. Oh man, what an episode! Sorry, I had to get my first sip of an ice cold, crisp Prime Energy original. There is nothing that wakes you up more than a Prime Energy at 9:09 in the morning when you're 18 minutes away from work and the service sucks. You can always count on Prime Energy, which is very interesting that the Prime is no longer a visual sponsor for the WWE, and I can't believe that they signed that deal in 23 to become the official drink of the UFC and then of WWE, kicking off in 24 with WrestleMania and the Prime logo in the middle of the ring, and now they had the hydration station. I can't believe that the deal was only for 2.5, 3 years. I would have figured it would be as long as Logan's in the WWE, but it's still pretty cool to think that Prime was the first um, it, on mat, in ring, middle of the ring sponsor for the WWE, and everything that they just got a new flavor out. So I wish Prime had an affiliate program because I would be signing up for that lickety split. Um, Grayson Waller dropped to Javon Evans. So Javon Evans defeated Grayson Waller. The Usos lost via disqualification with brass knuckles to the Vision. Brock Lesnar came out, opened the show with Paul Heyman. Obafemi once again stood tall. Um, Hopefully, that continues and we both defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Them getting Brock the win and then setting up for Oba to beat him at Backlash, and then the final match, the trilogy match, um, at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, and that could be Brock Lesnar's retirement match. Be insane to think that we got Styles to brother and Gunther as much as I'm not a Gunther fan. You know, I mean, that should be a torch passing for, um, in Minneapolis for SummerSlam. That's where that should go down. Uh, Other news on Raw, we had Becky Lynch come out and talk about her attack on AJ Lee last week. AJ a title shot rematch for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Uh, that is now our sixth match added to the card. So we are 25 days away, 3 weeks from Saturday away. So three weeks away, and we have six I don't know why it does that. Every 2 seconds, it's cutting in and out. But um, Tiffany Stratton, I think, gets the win for the U.S. title on SmackDown this Friday, and then goes into WrestleMania as the women's U.S. champion. They could do a ladder match. I think that would be sick. The women's tag titles, I think, should also be in a multi match fashion, like a gauntlet match or something, tornado tag, or I mean, just something to showcase the women's tag division because there are so many teams. Lash and Nia do defend their titles Monday against Bailey and Lyra. I don't think they're going to drop them that soon. They've only had one or two defenses leading up to that match on Monday. But I think there's going to be some interference. The Kabuki Warriors, Bailey and Lyra. Um, I guess the Bella Twins are still technically on Monday Night Raw. They were just going to SmackDown for those tag titles. I don't know why they wouldn't do that on Netflix, but um, whatever. So Monday Night Raw again last night was very good pacing. Um, the first hour went by quick. The Los Americanos, they cut a promo. Penta defeated Dominic Mysterio thanks to Finn Balor's return and distracting him. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan were scrapping ahead of that match. Um, that led to Io and Raquel setting up their match for next week. Bailey and Lyra defeated the Kabuki Warriors, called out Nia and Lash for put the tag titles on the line next week. That's how we got to there, and that was pretty much Monday Night Raw. Um, Danhausen and Nacho Speed, and then Paul Heyman came out and talked about Rollins. Rollins then came out and attacked him. Rollins was arrested. I don't know where they're going with this Rollins and Paul Heyman storyline. I don't know if they're just drawing time for Rollins to actually get cleared, for Braun Breaker to get cleared. Paul Heyman said that Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker both would not be back anytime soon. Um, However, he did have Adam Pearce make the match next week in Madison Square Garden for the tag titles, the Usos and the Vision, a New York street fight. So at this point, Braun Breaker could return. He reportedly is in down at the Performance Center being evaluated to be cleared. They could debut someone new in the Vision. I don't know who. Um, that was everything there. Maxine and Natalia were just off TV. They weren't even on there. Um, Otis and Tozawa weren't there. Um, AJ Lee did come out and attack Becky Lynch. Like I said, gave her what she wanted ultimately. Um, that was pretty much Raw. It was good pacing, but the crowd was just not there, not there at all. Um, which is very interesting and kind of sucks. But what can you expect from a crowd like Boston? Then we get to the main event. Out Juice tells him to watch his back because Jay is on a warpath. Just the music hits, he goes out there. He starts running his mouth, talking about Roman's just as old. This man that's gonna kick your ass and blah blah blah. Exactly what you would expect Punk to do. Go out there and say. Then he starts running his mouth about Jey Uso. Jey Uso comes out. We get Punk is again running his mouth, getting under Jey's skin. And so everyone can go get one. I apologize again for the audio cutting in and out. This drive is trash. Service is trash. Um, thanks to Verizon. But I am about 7 minutes away, so that pretty much is going to sum it up. Very heavy again. Raw was okay. Definitely ended better than last week with Roman putting Punk through the announce table, and just everything that went into that segment was great. We'll be back later this afternoon with the NXT preview, and I will be stationary, so hopefully the service doesn't drop in and out, and I'm not disconnected every other minute. But this was, in fact, I'm going to go and change this to just a Monday Night Raw review, because I didn't even really get to talk about anything else other than that Monday Night Raw last night. So that is going to do it for the Monday Night Raw preview on Sleeper Sports Media, episode 200 of, of the podcast. I mean, at this point, it's can kind of be labeled that way. So we'll rock with that. That's what the thumbnail says. That's what we'll rock with. But right here on Sleeper Sports Media, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and Twitch as well. We will be back, like I said, later for a full breakdown of NXT and AEW and SmackDown as well. No more TNA. Just not feeling what they're putting on. Not that it's bad, but just the roster. I don't care about anyone on the roster. I cannot name 3 people on that roster that I find entertaining. That isn't also an NXT. So no more TNA, just the main 2, which will also kind of help me dial it back with needing to get shows out and whatnot. Take kind of have Thursdays to just relax when I get home. But that is going to do it. Sleeper Sports Media Podcast, episode 200, Monday Night Raw review, March 24th, 2026. We'll be back later today. Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing. Check it back later today. Thank you, and we're out.